My name is Lance Pearce. I'm a police officer, a photographer, and I have a passion to try to serve. One of the things that I do on my days off is I've created a ministry I called Portraits of Hope Ministry. And that's where I go out into the streets and leave myself open to where the Lord guides me to contact someone in order to talk to them, get to know them a little bit about their life, and find out what has happened in their life that has led them down the path that they are to lead them to where they are right then when I'd met them. And I don't like to label by saying addict, homeless, broken. And we're all broken, just at different levels. I've been there, I understand, I've worked my way back, and so I want to share that with them, that there is hope. And if they allow me into their lives and share that with me, then one can offer them resources, hopefully guidance, but if not, at least just support. Talk to them, listen to them as a friend, that they mean something, that they're not just a statistic, they're not just something that needs to be passed by and ignored, but then to take their portrait and tell their story. And the portraits are the eyes of the person telling the story, to give them a voice. In my journey, as I started to work on myself, I was trying to figure out ways to serve because I needed more substance in my life. I needed to surround myself with trying to do something good. And I was starting on this mission of trying to figure out what can I do to serve, besides just be a police officer. But during that process of unpacking my baggage and trying to figure out what I needed to do, I came across a guy named Bob. He was out in front of Costco holding a sign. And I usually don't react to that feeling of being drawn to someone like that. And in doing so, I got to know, Bob allowed me into his life. So I got to know Bob for that moment. With getting to know Bob and having him openly talk to me like a friend because I was willing to listen, I was able to discover that Bob and I were very close to the same. We had gone through a lot of those dark valleys, just in different parts of our lives. And then as it evolved, that's when the photography became the black and white, up close personal photos, is because I'm trying to bring anyone that wants to take the time to read their stories, to at least be close to them and be able to look into those eyes and hear them tell their story through me. I was starting to become like I think most people. Well, they're there because they're addicts. Well, no wonder you're out on the streets because you slam heroin or you smoke meth or you do this, Obviously, you're going to be out on the streets because how can you function in society? So that's basically every action has a reaction. It seems real simple, real black and white. That's not the case though. And Bob's not the important one, and I'm not the important one. But together with us telling Bob's story or any one of these stories, it's someone that reads that story that will open their heart up just a little bit. That is the important person, because that's a person that can go out and change tens of thousands of lives. The problem is it's just not you use drugs, you're going to be on the streets. Okay, it's like drinking. I haven't had a drink since April 28th, 2008. I didn't have a drinking problem. My problem was I had no problem drinking. So it hadn't taken everything from me. It hadn't been that thing that had knocked me off my path, but it was the thing that was endangering my path, and it can greatly affect your journey. Drugs are like that, but especially meth, but 100-fold. And that's the problem. You can sit there and tell someone, talk down to them, trash talk them, tell them how useless they are. You're taking the money from the society. What's wrong with you? They've heard that their entire life. It all starts when you're kids. What they have to do is have someone just listen to them and maybe have them believe in themselves. And if they're willing to face that addiction, then a program will work. When I first introduce myself to someone on the streets, one of the examples I use is, and I point out to the people driving by, I see these people, I go look at them. They won't even look over at us because they're going to put blinders up when they go by because they don't want to see you. They don't want to address the problem. God forbid anybody ever stops and listens to you or talks to you. Now, I have had people ask, well, how can I go out and help? I don't say that people need to go out on the streets and talk to people or confront people on the streets because it can be very dangerous. And you just don't throw money at a problem, but you throw ideas. You help programs, you donate, you give of your time, you just care. And if you feel like I should do something, then act on that. And that's what I do with my ministry. I don't get paid to do it, but what I do is I tithe my life to try to better myself. And every time I talk to them, they help me more than I can help them, because they're affecting me, they're changing me.